Welcome to Effervescent, where we embrace a full circle approach to health. Okay, so we're going to start off with our mindful breaths. Eyes open or eyes closed, doesn't matter. But for you guys sitting here, maybe close your eyes. And we're going to imagine that this breath is like an anchor. So take a deep breath and then imagine an anchor dropping to the bottom of the ocean as you exhale. As you inhale this next breath, the anchor hits the ground and is holding you still. And as you exhale, imagine that it is just pulling you down towards the bottom of the ocean. It is holding you steady. Now on this third breath, feel that stillness as you inhale. And then exhale stillness into the body. So good. Good job. Okay, so today we're going to talk about unconventional ways to heal. And this topic could go many directions, and I'm honestly really excited. And as a disclaimer, I think it's cool to point out, like, we all have different beliefs about the things that are probably going to be brought up. And that's why it's important to talk about. So, okay, I want to start out with a question. What are some... Okay, let me actually back up. I'm going to start with a story. If you listen to the first episode we ever did, we talked about our health journeys, and I shared a story about going to the doctor to get my 100th depression and anxiety medication change, and he was like, let's shut the door, and then he sat me down and was like, Kinley, what's going on? Like, you've tried everything, and you're at the highest dose. What's really going on? And that was the pivot for me to start focusing on other ways to heal, not just a pill. And that's how I found yoga therapy and everything else that came from that. So first, I want to know, what are some ways you've tried to heal that you feel like are a little more unconventional or non-traditional? And all societies are different, right? What's unconventional to us is probably very normal to other cultures. I want to just say, like, we're aware of that. We're here in the United States, and yeah. But in our bubble, our culture, what are some unconventional ways you've tried to heal or grow as a person?
Do you have one?
I mean, of course I have more than one. This is one of those live podcast things where I'm like, how far do I go with this live recording that will be advertised
forever and ever and ever?
Yeah. I have many ways that I've tried to heal at different times in my life, and I think they're all good. I think if we intentionally feel like we need to heal and we're looking for ways to feel good, it's going to look different. Every decade's going to look different. Every day's going to look different. Maybe I'll just throw out one because this is probably the first one that came to my mind. I remember probably about around 2020, 2021 timeframe when everybody was, kind of all holed up in their houses because of COVID and everything. And I felt like, all my kids came home to my house, which I loved, by the way. So much fun. Even my grandkids and like 5 dogs and it was 1, 2, 3, 4. Chaos. It was amazing, but I found myself needing some breathing space for myself. And so one of my favorite, I don't want to take too long on this, but one of my favorite places to go is just 10 minutes up the canyon from where I live. And I love to just go find these rocks that have petroglyphs on them. I always get confused. Petroglyphs are
Hieroglyphs?
Wait,
what is it? Hieroglyphs?
Hieroglyphics?
Yeah.
And they're etched into the rocks. So I will double check. They are pictures. They are pictographs. But they're Native American, and they're just 10 minutes up the canyon. And it took me years to find them, but when I finally found them, I love to go sit in the middle of these rocks that have all these pictures because it feels spiritual to me. And I love to listen to Native American healing music, and I don't even understand what they're saying. I just researched on YouTube Native American healing music, and it's so beautiful. And I love to just sit and listen to it, and I have a prayer necklace that me focus on prayer, because I pray, you know, in my traditional culture way here, you know, fold my arms and bow my head. I do that too, but I loved using a prayer necklace where I could help me focus on each of the beads in my family, and like, I want to pray for this person and this person, and it helped my distracted mind stay focused. So there you go, Native American prayer music. And then I think, is it, who has I know the Catholic religion uses like
They're called mala
the
beads.
mala beads, and so I would use
prayer
that.
beads,
So
too.
it's very
Yeah.
much a combination
Yeah.
of like,
Which I love.
and I started feeling so much better, and my body started feeling so much better, and that took me on a whole journey. I still do that,
Yeah.
but I do love that.
I did not expect you to say that one at all. Like, that didn't even come to mind when I was creating this episode. And I love that because it does tie in like so many different things. And you actually brought me up there to do it with you. And it was amazing. And
so
just to like
beautiful.
think like, this was their land, you know, they lived here.
Yeah.
And to like honor them and just to like sit with them, powerful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. I'm so lucky to have my mom. She's pretty cool. Like,
Thanks, Kinley.
really, like we grew up in what's it called? A religion.
Yes.
A something religion, but we grew up in religion, but you always, whether I've been in religion or not, you've always just been open and loving, and like, I'm so grateful for you and Dad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Your turn.
I want to say too, I think, and maybe this is just me, but I feel like sometimes people may look at someone taking part in a religious practice and be like, oh, that's not okay, like you shouldn't do that. But it's like, at least me, you guys don't have to agree with me, but I fully believe if you are going into any practice like that with an open heart and you just want to like learn about the culture or do what they do, and you find healing in it or you find peace in it, I just can't see anyone, or at least me, I think that's awesome, and I think that is beautiful to try it out for yourself. And yeah, and I think if there is a God up there, I think they would be happy that you are exploring and trying to find your own way to heal and feel peace and stuff, instead of like the gatekeeping whatever of it all. That's just a thought I had. But I know, I'm trying to think. Was the question just what are unconventional ways I've had?
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard because I feel like there's random ways and I always bring up the same ones, which is funny. But you actually reminded me of a practice I do often still. And I swear I've said this every episode. But again, it's with journaling. But this practice is really interesting, and it's going to sound really odd to some people, and it's going to sound good to other people. Who knows?
Disclaimer free.
Yeah. But I actually took this from a guy. His name's Alex Hermosi. He does a lot of business content online, but I kind of twisted it. So he said he used to journal, or maybe still does, to almost like a higher self, and he named it a different thing. So his name was like Solomon, and he goes through this like whole thing about how he would free flow journal, which is so funny because he's like such a business, like I don't even know if he believes in like spirituality and stuff, but so he talked about that, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I want to try that because I already did free flow writing a lot, which is like morning pages. And so for me, I will talk to God through my journaling, and I almost see it as like I will have a question and I'll like write down the things I'm thinking, and then without even thinking about it, I'll be like, hey, like, God, what are you trying to say to me? And hopefully that's not like sacrilegious, but I think that there have been times that wisdom has come out through me that I would have never given myself. Like I would have never given that advice or thought about it in that way. And it's just a testament to me, like if I really am still, like I will get answers that I need. So that's something that I love doing still. Another one I think all the time. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sacrilegious?
Sure.
No way. I mean, this is my opinion once again, but like if you're intentional and you're prayerful and you're receiving answers that are coming through your pen, I've had the same thing happen many times. It is so powerful because if you just keep writing and it's your thoughts and then all of a sudden something will drop in, you're just practicing receiving
Yeah.
the messages you're asking for, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I just don't want people to think that I think I am God.
But
or
are
like
you?
Exactly.
See,
Who knows?
I
Who
would
knows?
push back and say like,
Yeah, like are you a part of the
Yeah,
whole
who knows?
ecosystem of creation? Yeah, and honestly, like I'm very much open to everything, but I know some people aren't. I will say here's a tidbit, like if you don't want to talk to God, talk to your higher self in whatever way that is to you. Talk to your future self and then like work backwards in ways that
talk
you
to someone you've lost that you
Yes.
trust.
that
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So I think just that practice is super interesting. And again, don't self-edit. That's another thing. Don't self-edit. Don't worry about what is said through it. You can burn the page after if you whatever. Like I just think allowing yourself to not be a critic and just like going is really important. And then second one I immediately thought about is like I just love the sunshine. Like if I'm able to feel warmth on my skin and just sit there for a second and be like, oh, this is healing rays coming down to me and like it's gonna heal my acne or whatever it is, like, and just like sit there and be like, oh, this thing was created for us to live and this is miraculous. Like, how do we even know how we live here? Like, how do we even live here? And a part of that is like the sun. And so I'm just like, it has to be something has to be healing of it, obviously.
And Mama Earth, like her plant medicine, even putting our feet in the ground, or
yeah,
like letting
shoes off grass, like
Yes.
feet in on the ground. Yeah.
like there, and those are all unconventional, non-traditional ways to heal. I think it's so interesting as we're talking, like the energy of like, do I say this? Do I not? Do I say this? Like, it's unconventional. It's not our typical, this is how you heal. Like here in the States, it's very much focused on if something's wrong, we go to the doctor.
Did you get a doctor? Did you get a prescription? Okay, you did what you're supposed to.
Oh, I mean, to be honest, people ask me all the time, well, who's your doctor? I don't have one.
Yeah.
I don't have a doctor. And that's so not normal here. It's like, it's so shocking to people when they find out that I don't have a doctor that I go to for my things because I don't really go to a doctor. And if I need a doctor,
I'll find one.
I will find a doctor.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I will go to the emergency room. But those are like definitely more what's expected here, or like, okay, you go through something hard. I would say therapy is now more traditional, but it wasn't for a long time. That was the untraditional route. You're gonna go talk to someone about your
Oh,
problem.
imagine in the 80s when I was growing
Yeah.
up, like nobody did that.
You don't open up.
Crazy. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Where now we're so lucky to live in a time where it has become more of a norm to like talk through our pain, which is
Yeah.
so good. But have you ever seen the video on Instagram that's like, in America, if you're sick, we prescribe medication. In China or Chinese medicine, if you're sick, we prescribe acupuncture. In Japan, we prescribe fermented food because we believe in gut health. In African culture, we prescribe drumming and meeting with your spiritual ancestors. In like Peru and like native cultures like that, we prescribe ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Like there's so many other unconventional ways to heal. And I feel like culture or the place you live really does play a role in what you
1,000%.
believe is right or wrong.
Yeah, there's a word I remember learning when I went back to school and I was 40 in ethics class, and it's called cultural arrogance, and it's so simple,
Ooh.
but it's like, of course the way that I do it, my country's the best.
Yes.
This is the way it's supposed to be done. And everybody in different countries probably feel the same way. And so we build that construct that we are living in, and then we live by these rules. And it's just so fascinating that we really do create the things that drive us crazy and the things that we love, or we all play by each other's rules, and how we're all holding back like, do I say that? Maybe it doesn't fit in our cultural arrogant like perspective of where we live. You know?
I also feel like it creates like a hierarchy.
Yeah.
Of like, I am better than them. And even if people come from love, sometimes it's like they just don't even know that I'm right and they're wrong.
Yeah.
Which I know we're getting
Ouch,
into
right?
some waters that are like, oh, that could really hit someone and be like, I don't believe that, which is okay if you don't believe that. But at the same time, like, is there a hierarchy to healing?
Yeah, and sorry,
No, go ahead.
it goes back. I just always find this funny. It goes back to like the academia, like the academic world, and how they're just now studying breath work and all of these things that have been around for thousands of years, and they're not even touching on consciousness. And
They are touching on it.
well, okay,
They just now started.
Yeah.
just exactly, just now started. Only some colleges, not even most colleges. You can't even get funding. And I don't know if you guys have seen like the telepathy tapes, and whether you believe that or not, it's totally fine.
Oh, yeah,
but
they're so good.
they're good. And the main lady that has been doing the studies and like looking into it, like they threatened to take her license away, like all of this stuff. And I'm just like, how do you know? Like, how do you know that she's wrong if you don't like put it to the test?
And why are you even trying to take her license
And
in the first place?
it's so interesting because if you look back in time, it's like, Einstein was the crazy one. And like all these people that
Exactly.
created these things that we use and live by all the time now, he was the crazy one. But it's like we have to, progress is progress. And it scares people. Change scares
the
people.
trailblazer that's just like, who cares? I'm going to look at it anyways. What's hard is, at least in America, is like getting the funding and stuff for that. But I just always find that so weird because I'm like, you look at other developed countries and like Chinese medicine and stuff, and it's like that's a normal thing to prescribe is like these plant medicine, whatever,
Well,
you know.
yeah. And then what was it back? I'd have to look at the date in the 60s where that was in my research. I got to choose what I wanted to study, and I wanted to study in one of my classes. It was a neuropsychology class or something, and I wanted to study like ketamine and psilocybin and things like that. And what I learned then is that this was kind of used and normal in the 60s, I think. I need to look at the dates. And then it was
And
all
then
of a
it
sudden
was
like
taken
somebody
away.
had a bad trip, and I can't remember exactly. I haven't read it for a few months. Somebody had something bad happen that was a famous kind of athlete, I think, and it went bad, and then it was shut down, and then it was all of a sudden it's a bad thing where there was already a lot of research showing that it could be very helpful along with counseling and things like that.
And do you know why it was created in the first place?
I read, but I can't remember.
Psilocybin was originally used. I heard this. If I'm wrong, I'll own that I'm wrong. But I heard this, that psilocybin was originally used in the military, in war, to help the young boys process everything that they were going through and the
Joe
emotions.
Rogan talks about
Does he?
I think he's really into psilocybin, like for veterans. So.
Okay, cool. And the boys stopped wanting to fight, and so they stopped giving it to the boys.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
That
Yeah. And then in like the 70s or so is when it started becoming illegal and all these things, and they started putting all these restrictions on something that grows out of the earth.
Well, and it's about money too, right? And greed.
Yes, which I was going to say.
which is during wartime, and then like the peace, the hippie thing. What is it called? That not the revolution, the era of hippies and stuff.
Which I am the conspiracy theorist. I'm the Einstein of this podcast. Like, I'm the crazy one, and I'm okay with that. But I really do believe that a lot of it was for money.
Oh, I do too.
Which is so sad because now that is a modality that I have tried in my healing journey. And oh my gosh, I remember the first time I did it, I was like mind blown. Mm-hmm. Like it hit me like a brick wall. Like they made this illegal. I wonder why.
Wait, I should share my. Is this what you were thinking that I was going to share, or maybe?
Well, now we're interested. As the
I have
mom.
Wow.
Well, I have a huge one.
Okay, go. Yes.
Huge one. Well, maybe
Yes.
we'll cut this out if this will get me in trouble. Because are you allowed to say that you've like microdosed, or is that
Yes.
like completely?
I'm saying I
legal?
do mushrooms and ayahuasca. Yeah.
Okay, well, I was gonna say like, well, if I get arrested, who cares? But
This is your
anyways,
Ozempic moment.
yeah,
Okay, straight up. They can only arrest you if you have it in your possession.
yeah, no,
If we're really.
it's gone. So it came and went, and it healed me. This is what I wanted to say. I literally did microdosing, you guys, and the listener, like, if you think that's crazy, like, just hear me out. If you know me as a person, like, hear me out. I did microdosing. I didn't even
Of psilocybin.
Of psilocybin, yes. And I didn't even do the full 2 weeks or however long it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. I have not had a panic attack since then.
that makes me
tell
want
us
to
what was
cry.
happening before.
I was having panic attacks every day of my life. Like, and I would call you guys. I know, like, you guys remember. Like, I would call you and say, I am not, like, able to function as a person. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like, I'm not able to function as a person. I'm thinking about, like, death every single waking second of my life. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I literally, yeah, I took it and then I, like, didn't have, oh my gosh, wow, this is crazy. Funny enough, I'm about to start my period, so I'm like, I'm extra emotional, but I haven't had a panic attack since I did the microdosing. But I want to say too, going back to the studies and the academics of it all, like, what is placebo? Because they have placebo in every freaking trial that they do to bring a drug onto the market. And that means that if you believe that this drug or something will help you, it's common knowledge that it'll help you and your brain will help you out. So let's say the psilocybin, like, didn't actually do the thing, but if I believed that it did the thing, then it healed me and I believe that. So it's like, I think that's to be said for everything, all these unconventional healing modalities. Like,
Yeah,
so much of it has to do with the belief. And if you're so close-minded to everything that might heal you, then
Because it's labeled as bad.
Yeah.
Because that's what I struggled with, was believing that trying plant medicine was bad.
Yes.
And I was terrified, and I know you were too, of like, that is a drug, that is illegal, like all these scary things about it. But then when you hit a certain level of
oh, I'll try anything.
desperation of like,
Yeah.
I need help, I'm going to try anything, and then it's the thing that actually helps the most, that is like, it really opens your eyes to like, wait, whoa.
Like, what's going on here?
Why was that not allowed? Were you going to say something about the placebo?
Oh, yeah, it just made me think of a presentation I gave once about sleep and the things that you can do, and that's a whole other episode, but to feel healthy and to feel good. But in it, because of where I was at and who I was presenting to, I could share kind of some personal thoughts. And that's where I brought up crystals, because I think whether you believe there's healing properties in different stones or not, or whether there is or not, and that's personal belief. If you believe that there is, and so you choose to carry
Calling
crystals
me
or
out.
stones, not even calling you out, but it's like,
Yeah.
if you believe that that's going to help you stay calm or focused or whatever reason you are carrying this, and I have some of my own, then that can be,
Yeah.
It's going to help you.
it's going to help you.
Yes, it's intention.
It's intention.
I was just going to say that.
And like,
yeah, and people can do it in different ways, but that's one way.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
That's actually,
you.
I know. That's actually how I feel about crystals, because I'm like, who knows?
yeah.
Literally, who knows? But at the same time, it keeps me in my body because I'm remembering that I'm holding something. I'm not like way up here thinking. It's like, okay, I have something in my hand.
Yeah.
And if that's it, then that's it. But I'm grateful.
Mm-hmm.
Were you going to say something?
No, and I was literally going to use the word intention behind it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as having like a wallpaper on your phone that like says a quote, so you're living with that intention. Or it's the same thing as like my necklace with my word of the year that has my word of the year on
Yes.
me. And I believe there's
Just
more stuff to do with crystals because of, again, going back thousands of years of like, why did they care about these stones so much?
And the
all-
pyramids and the
that-
grids and the
yeah,
sacred
it's like there's a
geometry.
lot to that.
Yeah.
Even, sorry, going back to telepathy tapes, a lot of the kids with autism love crystals. I'm like, that's so cool. That's just cute to me. Like, I just love that. But yeah,
That's
intention.
cool. I didn't know that I haven't got that far in it yet.
Oh, sorry.
I'm still listening to them.
Yeah.
Just wild. Like, what we have been taught is wrong might just be the very thing that heals us the most, you know? And if you take it back, like, to the most fundamental roots of, like, animals, when an animal is, okay, a deer, for example, when a deer is chased, it will stay alone for a second, and then it will shake to release the stress that it was just under being chased by a predator. And then after it shakes, it goes back to the water hole, and it drinks, and it goes right back to the place where it could get hurt again, but because it released it, it can actually go back, where if it were to be at a water hole and be chased, and then it runs away, and then it holds it in its body and gets tight, and never goes back to that water hole because it won't ever let itself get hurt again, it's never going to have water. It's going to die, right? And that is somatic healing. I know I'm kind of like pivoting, but like we talked about plant medicine, that is a very big unconventional topic. Also, somatic healing, I feel like, is a very unconventional healing approach, and animals literally do it. Somatic healing means it's a body up approach instead of a head down of like, okay, this is what we're processing. Now let's try to get into the body. Isn't that how you would explain it too?
Yes, and I think some people, I don't know, this is deep. This is another whole episode.
I love it.
But I am very much a somatic healer. Like, I know that I study the brain primarily, but it's connected. It's all connected. The somatic healing of how does my body experience it? How is it showing up? What can I do to release it so that I can keep going is so powerful. And I actually understood that term for the first time in therapy. They were talking about somatic healing. And I think we need to do a whole episode on it. But
Yeah.
absolutely is such an important way to heal.
And both are important.
Yeah.
It's like, try the unconventional ways and try the conventional ways and see what works for you, because I also found somatic healing through therapy, through talk therapy, and that's not somatic. I don't know what the other version would be called, but cognitive
behavioral therapy.
Okay. Where that's like you're talking through it and then you're getting into your emotions, where somatic is, okay, I'm going to move my body on a yoga mat, and then emotions all of a sudden surface. What the heck do I do with it? And then you know what you need to process, right?
The cool thing is I don't know that somatic healing is unconventional now, is it?
It's way more common right now.
Yeah,
than it
like I
was.
feel like we are advancing quickly more now with, I think the science is helping people believe that it's real.
Yes.
Where before it's like, oh, the
Exactly.
yogis are weird. Why are they stretching on the
Yeah.
mat? You know?
Yeah.
But like now,
They're
because
hippies. They're hippies, just like the plant medicine.
Yeah, and like now that the research is backing it, people feel more comfortable doing it, which is it's funny that we have to have scientists that tell us that it's right if we feel
someone
it's
outside of
Yeah.
yourself to tell you
Yeah.
that it's right.
If you can do it or not do it, if it's going to help you or not help you. And same with, I was going to say this when you're talking about psilocybin, like, and the placebo effect, it also is super studied now that it creates neural pathways and stuff, but like people sometimes need that, and that's okay if they need the proof. I was one of those people, and then I did it and I'm like, holy cow. But it is more common, the somatic healing. And also when I say yoga therapy, because that's somatic healing, people are like, huh?
Yeah. I mean, we say it's common, so maybe it's just because we think about it more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's becoming more common.
Yeah, it seems like it.
I would say that it is. But both of you have also experienced yoga therapy. And that was the thing after my doctor said, the doctor I was going to, said to try something new. I started with yoga therapy, and that was like, that was the doorway for me that walked me into yoga first off. But then eventually I did try plant medicine, and it was just like Brighton, like the most healing thing, because I had gone to therapy, but I could not feel my emotions. And she's like, you got to feel your emotions. You, like, every time we get there in EMDR, you just shut it off. And so I started going to yoga therapy, and that helped me connect with my body, but I still was so, like, there was just this vault somewhere deep in me where I could cry sometimes, but there was this, like, untouchable place. And so the actual intention I did for my first psilocybin journey was to feel my emotions. And it was so unreal to see, like, my ego can kind of step out of the way so that I can actually just, like, process and cry and not be like, what are they thinking about me? And all those thoughts, you know?
I kind of want to touch just a tiny bit on, like, obviously with all these modalities we're talking about when it comes to healing and whether you're wanting to try them or not, I think there does need to be, like, safety involved, right?
For sure.
Because
for sure.
It's like anything you're going to take, there is, I mean,
Just do your research.
Yeah, like, do your own research. Be with trusted people. Yeah, because I think no matter what you're taking or trying, there's always going to be, like, I don't want to say risk, but
Everything in life is risk, though. Like, yeah, it does matter your intention.
Even like
who you're with.
ketamine, you know, like I said, I wrote papers on that, and it's like it showed new neural pathways and like it's like the benefits from it, but it also said if it's combined with talk therapy,
Yes.
it can be even more powerful because not that you have to, but if you have these things that you experience and then it's almost so much, what are you gonna do with that? I mean, maybe you could just write about it, but if you're able to talk with somebody that's can help you manage things that are coming up, so you're not just having some crazy experience and then you don't know what to
No,
do.
I absolutely agree. Like, if we're specifically talking plant medicine too, like, there are ways to do it that are safe. Like, the people you're with matters. Have someone with you for your first time. Don't do it alone, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's so much about plant medicine that, like, you just have to look into. You can't just, like, jump into it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why it gets a bad rep, because some people do, and then they do have a bad trip because they didn't set an intention. They didn't protect their energy based off of, like, who was in the room with them. Like, they just did it at a rave.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I could.
And it's like, what?
Well,
are you doing?
imagine
And
that.
they do have it at doctors' offices now where they're
Yes, it's not illegal in every state.
Exactly.
Well, even psilocybin.
So they'll offer the treatments, and so it's interesting. Once again, if it's in a doctor's office, it's okay. And if it's with a trusted friend that and I've never done it, so I don't have firsthand experience. But if it's with somebody that I trust and then it's not legal. It's just so funny how we define what's legal or not legal or safe or not safe, and like think for yourself. I think
literally that's what we're getting at, is like, and also our podcast is about a full circle approach to health. That is also a part of what we're saying. Like, there's a full circle approach to these unconventional ways to heal. It's not just do plant medicine, it's have a talk therapist that's more mental, and then maybe do some somatic healing, some yoga therapy, and then maybe you try plant medicine. Like, there's so many approaches, and it's not just one.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people get stuck in their healing journey, is they hyper focus on one.
Yeah.
And then they don't focus on
We'll
another.
never try anything.
And what does the audience think? I mean,
We're so curious.
This is like a really deep, out there conversation that it's going to trigger a lot of thoughts for a lot of people. So we fully expect for you to have something to say and your opinion. And I know that the three of us are very much about respecting other people's perspectives. So if you completely disagree with everything we say, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
We respect that, and let us know. And it's just good conversation. I just think let's talk about it. Like, that's what we're about. Is a big part of full circle approach to health is that we are willing to talk about the things that other people aren't.
That's
always
Instead of being like silenced or shunned
that's
away.
not safe.
Yeah.
That's not.
Exactly.
Or healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or healthy. Yes, and that's why I also started this episode with, like, we do not all have the same beliefs, which, as you've talked, I'm like, wow, it sounds like we do. But, like, we really don't. We've had conversations outside of this where, like, some have done it, some have not, and like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I just love talking with you guys about it too. And I actually didn't intend on this episode to be about plant medicine, believe it or not.
Yes, you did. The second you grinned at me when you started, I was like, here we go.
It was one of my 10 bullet points. But
I really brought it home for you.
But I guess that's what was need to be talked about. Like, there's we talked about somatic healing. There's even things like travel. Like,
I was going to say community too.
yes, community.
Community in any sense of the word. When you're around fun people doing fun things, like being outside of your own self, like that was healing to me.
Yes. And we did an episode on this last week about, like, service and how healing that can be. And so if you haven't listened to that, it's so good. But yeah, community was another one I wanted to talk about. And travel being, like, getting away from your environment and just taking time to, like, not have a to-do list and, like, sit with yourself. Healing.
Yeah.
And sound baths. Like, there's so many non-traditional things that are
Boxing, Muay Thai. I'm serious.
Oh yeah, like Tai Chi and stuff.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like that is more somatic, but I was thinking about, sorry, I cut you off. This was just because Mom and I went to this event for, is it women? It's women who were children that dealt with sexual abuse, okay? But it was this retreat, and they did sound healing in one of them with drums, which I was like, so cool. The next room, they literally were doing Muay Thai, and I was like, so fun. Yeah, Supriya.
I went to this retreat.
Used to be the Unique Foundation.
I went to
and
this
now it's
retreat.
Supriya.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love how they
It's
put that
amazing.
together, though.
Yes.
Like, it's just amazing.
And they actually do so good. Supriya.
Shout out to Supriya.
Yes.
And like Brighton said, we were able to go up and see where the women visit when they want to go to the, I don't know if they call it a camp, a retreat.
Yeah.
They get all these different ways, modalities of healing. And as you said, Kinley, you know about it. And they are always doing fundraising, and they ask for help with
They do ask for
money
shout-outs,
or
yeah.
service or anything. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, women and girls facing sexual abuse, is
And you can go
specifically what it's
you can
about.
go for free to the retreat, which I thought was incredible.
Yeah.
So
I want to talk on it since I went to it.
Yeah, yeah.
The fact that it was free was insane because I've been to many retreats. I spent a whole year going to different retreats to heal, and theirs was by far the best, nicest. The food was like so amazing. They had therapists, they had Muay Thai, they had grounds you could go and walk on. Like, it was unreal. The lodging, everything was insane. So as someone who's been to it, they even did like kintsugi,
yeah.
which is where like you take a bowl and you break it and then you put it back together with gold because it's believed to be stronger then than it was before it was broken. Like, it was so cool.
Reflecting the person.
Yes,
Right? to
yes,
teach
as a
that
mirror.
lesson. Yeah.
So, and you just go to their website. I remember it took like maybe 6 months. I just remember putting my name in, like, maybe I'll get to go to this. Like, I have experienced it. Maybe I'll get to go. And then I got an email like 6 months later, like, it's your turn. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So it does take some time. Like, they have a list, but they will get back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing they don't pay for is the flight
If
to
you're flying.
Utah. If
Yes.
you're flying to Utah.
Yeah,
Other than
traveling
that,
Mm-hmm.
they pay for everything. It's amazing.
Yeah. Super cool. I'm glad you guys brought that up, which I feel like they're doing something very similar to what we're doing. Like, there's many approaches to health.
Yeah.
And I guess to wrap this up, how do we wrap this episode up?
Do you want to say well, we did a lot of tips. Do you want to say like freebie as well?
Yeah, well, we also have a freebie that is, it's a paper that you can keep downloaded or you can print off. And the paper has 3 different columns. And on the columns, there's a mind column, a body column, and a spirit column. And we just put tons of tips in our individual columns. And then you can go and just choose one from each day so that you can make sure you're focusing on your mind, your body, and your soul every single day, not just one over the other. But I guess to wrap it up, I was going to ask you, like, in your own fields, because we've talked a lot about spirit and, like, hippies and all of that, which is me. But in your own fields, I feel like there are also some non-conventional things that are being researched. Like, I know you've talked about some things that are now coming out in your field. And for you, I was curious, like, what are some non-conventional things in your fields that you could, like, give a tip on or something?
I think I actually almost said it on accident. Is I think the resurgence of run clubs and like it's pairing the movement with a club, and I just think it's blowing up right now because people are needing the community aspect and the movement aspect. And again, if you guys are in Utah, I do a movement club every Saturday, but the reason why I think that's
it's free.
Yeah, it's free. Yeah, we just like go hike or walk or whatever. But I think it's starting to be a bigger thing in the fitness community, not because it's just to like work out. It's like because of the community aspect there. And I think that's probably super healing to people and me too. Whether people like see that it is or they just kind of like it's almost like a subconscious, like they keep coming back for some reason. So I would encourage you to find some sort of club. There's a lot that aren't even just like running too. There's tons, but I think pairing like movement with people and connecting and stuff is really beautiful in the fitness world.
Yes,
I guess.
I think in all of it. Yeah, what's yours?
Well, can I back yours up a little bit with, so I wrote a curriculum with my partner and friend Barbara Levitt, and it's based on the 5 protective factors. And we have a children's book and a curriculum and all that. But one of the 5 protective factors that was studied by the Center for the Study of Social Policy, huge research that went on for decades, they found that one of the 5 protective factors for us to feel healthy and safe is social connection.
Yeah.
And we see that all over the board in so much research. But yeah, I think that's what you're speaking to, is like we need one another, and online we connect, kind of, we think we are.
Yeah.
But it's not the actual real positive social connections that we feel like, oh, I could call them. Could actually call this person and feel supported, or feel
Absolutely.
like I'm going to show up, I'm going to see him again on Saturday, and I feel like they're my friend. So yeah, I
Yeah,
just
I love that.
idea.
Yeah, and I think tying it in with fitness is cool too, because then if you are trying to, let's say, start going to the gym or get better at running, like there's so much research that shows like if people are counting on you and you're a part of a community, you have to go.
there,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I think that's really cool.
Totally. Okay. So
Do you have one you want to share?
I do.
Okay, yeah,
actually.
go for it.
So I don't think I've talked about it on the podcast yet. Maybe I have. It gets confusing after a while, but I love dream studies. Have I talked about this yet?
It's okay. Keep going.
Anyway, okay. I was just accepted into a program at Sophia University for dream studies, and I'm going to start in the fall. And I'm so excited about it because I think that even when we go to sleep, our brains are still working on a lot of things, and we connect to ourselves and in different ways than we do in our waking state. But one of the new things that I would say in my field of study or performance psychology is that you're seeing linked research to dream work, where they call it visualization more, where it shows even athletes can go to sleep and they can study, making the shot, or they're playing basketball or whatever. And so even if I did bring this up, how it relates to this context is I love, before I go to bed, writing some things down that I want to heal from in my waking life. Like I'm struggling with blank, and I write it and I set it next to my bed or put it under my pillow. And then as you work on being more conscious in your dreams, you can actually work through those things and heal things.
That's so cool.
And so it is being studied and beginning to be linked to sports psychology specifically, which is specifically my field. But I think that relates to any way that we can heal as well.
I love that. I love that I can ask you guys that, and it can come from so many different obviously we're talking spirituality, but then for you to bring in fitness, and then for you to bring in sports psychology is so cool because they're all tools that we can use. Well, it's been a good one. I'm just kidding. I don't know how to wrap it up. I guess I'm going to wrap it up with my own tip. I know I've talked a lot about all the things that we've been talking about, but I kind of want to piggyback off of Brighton's and community. And it actually totally piggybacks off my mom's too, with visualization, that if you do need support, I actually do have a course on this, and it does have visualization in it, and it does have community in it, and we'll link it in the show notes. But just community in general is so important. And if you take anything from this episode, I would say trust yourself. Pick one thing that we talked about, or one thing that's been sitting on your mind that you're like, maybe I should try that, but I don't know. I would encourage you, try it. And also have a community, or reach out to someone, a coach, a therapist, who can support you along the way. Because
reach out to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. It doesn't have to be in the comment section. It can be DMs too. If you're like, I don't want to comment publicly about this, we're here for you, and trust yourself.
Until next time.
Until next time.
I love that.
Bye.